In the shadowed halls of the Egyptian afterlife, Anubis, with his iconic jackal head, presides with solemn dignity. As the god of mummification, he meticulously oversees the embalming process, ensuring that the rites are performed with precision. This preparation is crucial, for it preserves the body, enabling the departed to live again in the afterlife. Guiding the souls of the deceased, Anubis leads them to Hall of Mot, where a ceremony critical to their eternal destiny unfolds. Here, in a ritual known as the weighing of the heart, Anubis plays a pivotal role, with a feather symbolizing Mot, the goddess of truth and justice, placed on one side of the scales, and the heart of the deceased on the other. Anubis ensures that the scales are balanced. Only those whose hearts are as light as the feather, free of corruption and heavy deeds, can proceed. Anubis, therefore, is not merely a protector but a judge, a guardian of ethical order. His presence ensures that those entering the realm of Osiris do so by virtue of their moral integrity. This belief underscored the Egyptian conviction that ethical conduct was essential for a favorable judgment in the afterlife. Beyond his roles in protection and judgment, Anubis also represents a comforting presence. To the ancient Egyptians, he was a reassuring figure, guiding loved ones safely through the perils of the underworld, ensuring that the virtuous found their place beside Osiris. Once a revered mortal king of Egypt, Osiris's story is a poignant tale of betrayal, murder, and ultimate resurrection. His legend begins with his brother Set's jealousy and treachery, which led to Osiris being deceitfully killed and dismembered. It was Isis, his devoted wife, who reassembled his body and brought him back to life using her magical powers. This act of resurrection by Isis not only restored Osiris, but transformed him into the god of the afterlife, embodying the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. As a god of resurrection, Osiris became a beacon of hope and renewal. He assures his followers of a rebirth in the afterlife, a promise that resonated deeply with the Egyptians' beliefs in immortality and eternal soul. His domain extends beyond the mere concept of death. He is deeply intertwined with the fertility and regeneration of life, mirroring the annual flooding of a Nile which brings nourishment and richness to the otherwise barren deserts of Egypt. In the realm of the dead, Osiris presides as a just and benevolent king, judging the souls of the deceased with fairness. His own resurrection allows him to empathize with the fears and hopes of those who pass into his kingdom, making him a compassionate ruler who values moral integrity over mere ritual observances. Osiris's influence permeates various aspects of Egyptian culture, from religious rituals to the very kingship itself. Pharaohs were often regarded as incarnations of Osiris in life and death, embodying his virtues and responsibilities. In the pantheon of Greek mythology, Thanatos is not a fearsome reaper, but the serene and inevitable personification of death. As the son of Nyx, the night, and Erebus, the darkness, Thanatos represents the peaceful aspect of death, unlike the violent ends often meted out by his peers in myth. Thanatos brings a quietus that is both gentle and unavoidable, portrayed as a winged and youthful figure. Thanatos is often depicted with a calm, almost compassionate demeanor. His approach is not one of terror, but of tranquility, serving as a reminder that death is a natural part of life and should not always be feared. This characterization sets him apart from other death deities who might revel in the chaos and destruction associated with their realms. Thanatos' duties involve guiding the deceased to the underworld, a task he performs with a respect for fate and destiny. Rarely acting alone, he is often accompanied by his twin brother, Hypnos, the god of sleep, underscoring the gentle passage he facilitates, likened more to falling asleep than being taken away. In myths where he appears, Thanatos is shown as obedient to the fates, never taking a life before its natural end. This obedience highlights his role within the cosmic order of the Greek universe, ensuring that death happens according to the natural laws and not through arbitrary cruelty or malice. Hades is often cast in shadows, not as a malevolent figure, but as the solemn and just ruler of the underworld. As the eldest son of the Titans Cronus and Rhea, Hades was allotted the domain of the underworld after the overthrow of his father, ruling over the dead with fairness that was respected even among the gods. Hades' realm is not a place of torment, the final resting place for all souls, whether they were valiant heroes or common folk. His kingdom is vast and includes the Elysian fields, a paradisiacal area reserved for the virtuous, and Tartarus, where punishment is meted out to the wicked. This dichotomy in his kingdom reflects Hades' balanced approach to judgment, emphasizing his role as a more neutral figure than one of pure dread, despite popular portrayals that merge his identity with that of a devilish overlord. Hades is depicted in mythology as a stoic and rule-abiding figure, deeply committed to the order and laws of the cosmos. His rare ventures away from the underworld are marked by significant mythological events, such as his abduction of Persephone, which explains the seasons according to Greek lore. Persephone's tale is a narrative of duality and transition, embodying the link between the seen and unseen worlds. As the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of harvest and agriculture, and Zeus, the king of the gods, Persephone was initially the goddess of spring, a being of growth and renewal. Her life took a dramatic turn when she was abducted by Hades and taken to the underworld, an act that led to her becoming its queen. This transformation from maiden to queen highlights her dual nature. In the underworld, Persephone rules alongside Hades with quiet authority, respected by the dead and the deities of the underworld alike. Her time in the underworld marks the winter, months on earth when the land lies barren, reflecting her absence from the world above. Yet, Persephone's return to the surface each spring initiates the cycle of life anew, as her reunion with her mother Demeter brings about the blossoming of nature and the fertility of the earth. This annual cycle led to her worship as a deity of resurrection and life, symbolizing the eternal return of life following the dormancy of winter. Persephone's story is also a tale of agency and adaptability. Over time, she evolves from a victim of fate to a powerful queen who mediates between the worlds of the living and the dead. Her unique position allows her to navigate both realms effectively, embodying the connection between birth and death, growth and decay. In Norse mythology, Hel occupies a singular place, as the goddess presiding over Helheim, the cold and dreary realm of the dead. Daughter of Loki, the trickster god, and the giantess Angerboda, Hel's lineage is as complex as her domain. Half of her body alive and vibrant, and the other half dead and decayed. Her very appearance symbolizes a threshold between life and death. Helheim, unlike the fiery infernos of other mythologies' underworlds, is a bleak and misty place, reflecting the chill and isolation that characterizes the Norse view of the afterlife for those who did not die a heroic or notable death. It is here that Hel reigns with firm but fair control, overseeing those who arrive at her gates, neither punishing them nor rewarding them, but simply giving them a place to exist after life. Her realm is vast and includes the dishonored and those who died of illness or old age, emphasizing that Helheim is not a place of torment, but rather a continuation of existence in a shadowed form. This nuanced view of the afterlife reflects the Norse belief in the importance of an honorable life and death. Despite her fearsome appearance and formidable heritage, Hel is often portrayed as a passive figure within her own realm, administering her duties without malice or favor. Her rule is marked by inevitability and acceptance, and she stands as a figure of the natural order, ensuring that those who come to Helheim find their place in the world beyond. Odin, revered in Norse mythology as the All-Father, holds dominion over war and wisdom, and uniquely serves as a guide for the souls of slain warriors. As the chief of the Aesir gods, his presence is pivotal across the realms of life and death. Odin's dual role encompasses not just the orchestration of battles, but also the solemn duty of selecting and guiding those who fall heroically in combat to Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain. Valhalla, envisioned as a majestic, vast hall located in Asgard, serves as a final resting place for warriors deemed worthy by Odin. Here, these chosen warriors, known as Einarjar, prepare to aid the gods during the events of Ragnarok, the prophesied end of the world. This highlights Odin's strategic role in maintaining the balance and order of the cosmos, preparing for the future battles to come. Unlike many gods of war who are depicted merely as agents of chaos and destruction, Odin's association with death is marked by honor and nobility. He is often depicted riding his 8-legged steed, Sleipnir, traversing the skies and battlefields to claim the souls of the valiant. This act is not one of mere collection, but a sacred duty to ensure that those who fought valiantly continue to have purpose beyond their mortal lives. Yama stands as a pivotal figure in the pantheons of Hindu and Buddhist traditions, embodying the roles of both the god of death and the ultimate judge of souls. Known as the Lord of Justice, Yama's responsibilities extend far beyond merely overseeing the end of life. He is the arbiter who determines the fate of the deceased, based on their actions in the mortal world. In Hindu mythology, Yama is depicted as a stern but fair deity mounted on a black buffalo and holding a lasso with which he binds the soul at the time of death. His domain, Yamaloka, is where souls are brought to account for their deeds. Here, in his great hall of justice, Chitragupta, his scribe, reads from the record of the deceased's actions, and Yama passes judgment, deciding whether the soul will face punishment, be reincarnated, or attain liberation, moksha. Yama's judgment is not arbitrary but rooted in the laws of karma, the cosmic principle of actions and consequences. This makes him a unique figure of moral integrity and ethical rigor in mythology, respected and sometimes feared for his unyielding adherence to dharma, order, and law. In Buddhist lore, Yama's role varies slightly. He is often depicted as a more fearsome figure, presiding over the Naraka or hell realms, ensuring that the karmic punishments are appropriately meted out. However, even in these traditions, Yama's primary function is not to punish indiscriminately, but to maintain cosmic justice, serving as a reminder of the moral weight of one's actions. In the vibrant yet often somber tapestry of Aztec mythology, Mictlantecuhtli reigns as the formidable god of the dead, presiding over Mictlan, the deepest part of the underworld. His name, translating to Lord of Mictlan, conveys his dominion over this realm where the souls of the deceased undertake a challenging journey toward final rest. Mictlan is not merely a place of darkness and despair, but a realm of immense significance, where all except those who died in battle or childbirth would eventually descend. The journey to Mictlan, lasting 4 years, involved traversing obstacles such as vast rivers and mountain ranges, and was believed to be a reflection of the hardships faced in life. Mictlantecuhtli himself is often depicted with a skeletal body, adorned with owl feathers and a necklace of human eyeballs, embodying the decay associated with death, but also the authority of his rule. His appearance is stark, designed to remind the Aztecs of the inevitability of death and the importance of honoring those who have passed. As a deity, Mictlantecuhtli's role extends beyond merely overseeing the dead. He is a guardian of bones, the physical remnants of life, and a god who ensures a continuation of life cycles. His worship was marked by rituals that involved bloodletting and offerings, practices meant to appease his formidable nature and secure a safe passage for the souls of the dead. Mictlantecuhtli, known as the Lady of the Dead, is a central figure in Aztec mythology, reigning alongside her husband Mictlantecuhtli over the underworld realm of Mictlan. As the queen of this deep and vast domain, she plays a crucial role in the journey of the souls who enter her realm, ensuring their safe passage and eventual rest. Her portrayal, often skeletal like her husband, and adorned with regal attire typical of Aztec nobility, reflects her authority and the reverence with which she was regarded. Mictlantecuhtli's role goes beyond mere oversight. She is a guardian of the bones, the physical, remains that are cherished and revered as seeds for new life in Aztec culture. Mictlantecuhtli's responsibilities include presiding over the ancient festivals of the dead, which have evolved into the modern Dia de los Muertos celebrations. These festivals, marked by vibrant decorations, offerings, and the celebration of life's continuity, are a testament to her enduring influence. During these times, it is believed that she grants the dead leave to return to the earthly realm to visit their loved ones, illustrating her role as a mediator between the worlds of the living and the dead. Shinigami, in Japanese folklore, are ethereal, beings akin to the gods of death. Their origins, while less defined than those of deities and other mythologies, are steeped in cultural nuances that reflect Japan's unique perspectives on death and the afterlife. As spirits of death, Shinigami hold the eerie responsibility of determining when a person's life ends and escorting their souls to the afterworld, which is often envisioned as a realm of deep spiritual significance. Shinigami can be seen as ambivalent figures. They are neither purely malevolent nor benevolent. Their primary role is to maintain the balance between life and death, ensuring that the cycle of existence adheres to the natural order. This involves influencing human mortality, sometimes by leading individuals to their deaths in cases where the end of life is imminent or unavoidable. Shinigami are frequently depicted as entities with a complex moral compass, often involved in intricate stories where human lives intertwine with supernatural events. They appear in various forms, sometimes as ominous figures cloaked in traditional robes, at other times taking on more abstract forms that can be both fearsome and awe-inspiring. Their method of ferrying souls is particularly poignant. Shinigami do not merely guide spirits away from the earthly realm, but also offer a reflection on their past lives. This process is not only a physical journey, but a spiritual passage that prepares the soul for what comes next, be it reincarnation or eternal rest. Baron Samedi, with his unmistakable top hat, black tailcoat, and skull-painted face, stands as the quintessential Loa of the dead in Haitian Vodou. His dominion extends over crossroads where life meets death, making him a powerful figure in the spiritual pantheon, both revered and feared. For his profound connection to the afterlife, Baron Samedi presides at the crossroads of the living and the dead, ensuring that souls transition safely to the underworld. His role is crucial. He is not only a guide, but also a protector who ensures that the dead are respected and that their final rites are properly performed. This care is vital for maintaining balance and preventing malevolent spirits from causing havoc among the living. Characterized by a boisterous and mocking personality, Baron Samedi is also known for his crude humor and fondness for disruption. He is often depicted drinking rum, smoking large cigars, and using obscenely direct language, which, far from mere theatrics, serves as a reminder of the inevitability of death and the importance of living life to the fullest. In Roman mythology, Pluto is the authoritative god of the underworld, a figure synonymous with wealth and the hidden riches of the earth. While often equated with the Greek Hades, Pluto's portrayal emphasizes his dominion over the subterranean, treasure of precious metals and fertile soil, rather than just the realm of the dead. This connection with wealth, derived from the Latin word Plutus meaning riches, highlights his dual role as both the overseer of the afterlife and the guardian of material abundance. As ruler of the underworld, Pluto is depicted as a more benign and less malevolent figure than might be expected of a deity overseeing the realm of the dead. His kingdom is not solely a place of darkness and despair, but also a domain of potential and renewal, symbolizing the cyclical nature of life and death, where endings give rise to new beginnings. The Morrigan, often referred to as the Phantom Queen, is one of the most enigmatic and powerful deities in Celtic mythology. Associated with war, fate, and sovereignty, she is a figure of both protection and destruction, embodying the dualities of life and death. The Morrigan's presence on the battlefield, often portrayed as a crow or raven, signifies her role as a harbinger of death, but also as a guardian of the warrior's influence in the outcome of war. Her ability to transform into a crow or raven allows her to fly over battlefields, where she can be seen either instigating the fight or perching on the shoulders of those destined to die. This transformation underscores her connection to the other world and her ability to traverse between the realms of the living and the dead, reinforcing her role as a guide of souls. The Morrigan is not a singular entity, but is often described as a trio of sisters, which includes Bab, Machu, and sometimes Nemain or Anand. This triadic nature allows her to represent various aspects of battle, from the fury and chaos of conflict, represented by Bab, to the sovereignty and protection of the land, represented by Machu. In Welsh mythology, Arawn holds a distinctive position as the god of the dead and the ruler of a mystical and enigmatic realm, often associated with peace and eternal rest rather than torment. His domain is depicted as a paradisiacal land, abundant in food and without sickness or old age, reflecting a nuanced perception of the afterlife that emphasizes continuity and comfort rather than fear and punishment. Arawn's rulership over and is marked by fairness and honor. He is a master of magic and a keeper of many magical creatures, including his famous pack of white, red-eared hounds. These hounds, known for their haunting howls, roam the skies only during autumn and winter, hinting at Arawn's control over the seasonal cycles and his connection to the natural world. Arawn is not only a guide of souls from the physical world but also a figure of retribution for moral transgressions. It is said that those who meet him are judged, and those found wanting are subjected to his corrections. However, these aspects are tempered by his role as a protector of the dead, ensuring that they find peace and resolution in his realm. Ereshkigal, in the pantheon of Mesopotamian deities, reigns supreme over the underworld, known as Irkalla, as the Queen of the Great. Below, her dominion is characterized by its stark and inexorable nature, a realm where all souls, regardless of their earthly deeds, descend upon death. Her authority is absolute, making her one of the most respected and feared gods in Mesopotamian mythology. Her story is most vividly recounted in the myth of Inanna's descent to the underworld, where Ereshkigal plays a pivotal role. When Inanna, her sister and the goddess of love and war, descends into the underworld, it is Ereshkigal who presides over her trial and eventual death. This myth highlights Ereshkigal's dual nature. Though she is a strict and implacable ruler, she also upholds the laws of her domain with fairness and necessity. Ereshkigal's realm is not merely a place of darkness and decay, but also a site of transformation and renewal. It is under her stern governance that the dead are given their due respect and the cosmic balance between life and death is maintained. Her role is essential, for the underworld is also a place of gestation where the waters of life are born, and thus she is indirectly connected to fertility of the earth. Nergal is a prominent deity in ancient Mesopotamian religion, embodying the destructive forces of plague and war. Known for his fierce nature and formidable powers, he is also the consort of Ereshkigal, the queen of the underworld, which positions him as a ruler in the realm of the dead. Nergal's dual aspects as both a war god and a god of disease highlight his role in upholding the balance between life and death. His influence extends beyond mere destruction, serving as a necessary force that enforces the end of life cycles, thereby maintaining cosmic order. Nergal is often depicted wielding a mace or sword, signifying his warrior aspects, and sometimes accompanied by symbols of death like lions or flames, underscore his connection to both war and pestilence. Through his actions and attributes, Nergal represents the harsh but essential sides of existence, reminding adherents of the inevitability of death and the importance of respecting the divine forces that govern it. Chernobog, often referred to as the Black God, stands as a stark figure in Slavic mythology. His name, meaning Black God, in Old Church Slavonic, encapsulates his associations with darkness, misfortune, and malevolence. As a deity of evil and the night, Chernobog embodies the antithesis of good and is often portrayed as a bringer of calamity and woe. This deity's role in mythology is characterized by his opposition to the forces of light and goodness, often represented by his counterpart, Belobog, the white god of light and goodness. Chernobog's presence is most notably acknowledged during the night and in the winter months when darkness prevails over the land. Depictions of Chernobog vary, but he is commonly portrayed as a fearsome, shadowy figure, embodying the dread and mysteries of the night. In some myths, he is described during rituals and folklore tales as a god who receives curses and ill wishes during festivals, symbolically taking on the community's evils to maintain balance. Apuk, recognized among the ancient Maya as the god of death, presides over Mitnal, the darkest and deepest part of Xibalba, the Maya underworld. This deity is often depicted with features that emphasize his dominion over death, skeletal, with protruding ribs and an owl's head, or accompanied by owls, which were considered harbingers of death. His appearance is marked by bells that adorn his hair, signaling his presence with their mournful toll. As the ruler of Mitnal, Apuk is associated with decay, destruction, and disaster. He was feared for his ability to bring about plagues and diseases, and the Maya believed that he roamed the night, announcing his presence with the sound of a howling dog, another creature connected to death in Maya lore. Apuk's role extends beyond mere destruction. He is a crucial figure in the cycle of life and death. By overseeing the lowest level of the underworld, he is instrumental in the transition and transformation of souls after death, ensuring that they meet their fate according to the deeds of their mortal lives. Despite his fearsome attributes, Apuk was also respected and sometimes propitiated with offerings to avoid his wrath and ensure protection against untimely death. Rituals involving him would often be performed with great care to appease his destructive nature, highlighting the complex relationship between the Maya and the forces of death and decay. Iku, in Yoruba mythology, embodies death itself, holding a pivotal role in the spiritual and cosmological framework of the Yoruba people. As the personification of death, Iku is both revered and feared, seen as an inevitable and natural aspect of life that brings balance to the human experience. Iku is not merely a bringer of demise, but is also a necessary transition point for souls' journey to the afterlife. His arrival is not arbitrary. It is believed that Iku only comes at the appointed time decided by Olorin, the supreme god, and the Orishas deities, thus ensuring that the cosmic order is maintained. This highlights the Yoruba belief in destiny and the predetermined nature of life and death. In Yoruba society, Iku is often portrayed as impartial and inevitable, ensuring that each individual meets their fate without prejudice. The Yoruba people engage in various rituals and ceremonies to honor or appease Iku, seeking to understand their destiny and find peace with the transition that death brings. Supi, in the traditional beliefs of the Andean region, especially among the Inca and local cultures, holds dominion as the god of the underworld and the personification of death. He is a powerful and multifaceted deity, ruling over the Uku-Pisha, the inner world in the Andean cosmology, which is both a place of rest for the dead and a source of minerals and gemstones. As a ruler of the underworld, Supi was both respected and feared. He was often depicted as a robust figure, formidable in appearance, embodying the dangers and darkness of the subterranean realms he controlled. This portrayal reflects his dual nature as a guardian of the earth's riches and as a stern ruler over the souls of the deceased. During the Inca Empire, Supi was associated with both protection and retribution, commanding a host of demons known as Supecuna to enforce his will within the dark corners of the earth. Despite his fearsome reputation, he was also recognized as a necessary part of the natural order, maintaining balance between the living world and the afterlife. Tuoni, in Finnish folklore, is a formidable god of the underworld, ruling over the dark and serene realm known as Tuonela. This shadowy domain, often depicted as a peaceful yet somber place, serves as the final resting place for souls. Unlike many other mythologies that depict the underworld as a place of torment, Tuonela is portrayed more as a place of eternal rest, reflecting the Finnish respect for death as a natural part of life. Tuoni himself is a figure of deep respect and intrinsic fear, embodying the inevitability of death. He is not alone in his duties. His family, including his wife Tuanita and their children, play crucial roles in the operation of the underworld. This family aspect highlights the communal nature of the Finnish afterlife, where the dead are welcomed and guided by familiar figures. In mythology, Tuoni is occasionally depicted in negotiations with other gods or interacting with heroes who venture into his realm, either to challenge him or seek his wisdom. These stories often serve as moral lessons about the nature of life and the futility of trying to escape death. Despite his grim responsibilities, Tuoni is not viewed purely as a malevolent deity. Rather, he is a necessary part of the world's structure, maintaining the balance between life and death. His presence and that of his family in Finnish mythology provide comfort in the knowledge that the afterlife is under the watchful care of judicious custodians. Sadapa is esteemed in Visayan mythology as a god who presides over the death of mortals, marking the time when each person's life will end. His dominion is not merely over the act of dying, but involves a deep connection with the fate and lifespan of individuals, indicating a complex role in the cosmic order. Residing on Mount Majas, the highest mountain in Panay, Sadapa's abode is said to be a place where the divine intersects with the mortal world. From this lofty vantage, he is depicted as observing the lives of people, determining their longevity based on a sacred tree upon which the names and destinies of every person are inscribed. This imagery emphasizes his omnipresent and all-knowing nature, overseeing the natural progression of life and death. Guillotine holds a poignant place in Lithuanian folklore as a grim and inevitable personification of death. Her depiction often parallels that of the Grim Reaper, featuring a skeletal figure clad in a cloak, wielding a scythe. This iconography underscores her role as the harbinger who reaps the souls of the dying, guiding them from the mortal world to the afterlife. Traditionally, Guillotine was not always seen as a fearsome or malevolent figure. Initially, her image was more nurturing, associated with a natural and necessary transition, rather than a figure to be feared. Over time, and possibly under the influence of foreign mythologies and cultures, her portrayal evolved into a sterner, more ominous character. Guillotine's duties extend beyond merely marking the end of life. She is involved in the process of death, ensuring that it occurs timely and justly, reflecting the natural order of life and the inevitability of death. Her presence in Lithuanian mythology serves as a reminder of mortality, encouraging people to live righteous lives to meet a peaceful end. Jisung Saja plays a central role in Korean folklore as a divine emissary who escorts souls from the world of the living to the afterlife, known as Jisung, a place akin to the Western concept of purgatory. Translated literally, Jisung Saja means messenger of the world of the dead, reflecting his duties as a bridge between the two realms. Unlike the often fearsome depiction of the Grim Reaper, Jisung Saja is portrayed more as a bureaucratic figure, part of a larger, celestial administration that manages the afterlife. He is tasked with ensuring that all spirits comply with the celestial laws, making sure that each soul is accounted for and that they move on to the appropriate place based on their earthly deeds. Ungra Mainyu, also known as Ahriman, stands as the embodiment of destruction and darkness in Zoroastrian mythology as the principal adversary of Ahura Mazda, the god of light and wisdom. Ungra Mainyu represents the antithesis of all that is good, pure, and progressive in the universe. His existence underscores the dualistic nature of Zoroastrianism, where every positive force is countered by a negative one, maintaining the balance of cosmic and moral order. Ungra Mainyu is the source of all that is malevolent in the world. He brings chaos, suffering, and decay. He is not merely a destroyer, but also a corrupter, tainting the creation of Ahura Mazda by spreading lies and discord, influencing beings to stray from the path of truth and righteousness. This spiritual warfare manifests in the physical realm, influencing the moral choices of humanity and the natural events of the world. We're fortunate enough to be blessed with an almost countless number of deities associated with death that I could be here for hours, if not days. So apologies if I've missed any favorites. But as we've journeyed across the globe and through the ages, exploring the enigmatic deities of death, from a multitude of mythologies, we've seen how different cultures perceive and personify the end of life. These gods and goddesses are not just rulers of the underworld. They are symbols of justice, transformation, and the eternal cycle of life and death. Each deity brings a unique narrative that reflects their culture's values and beliefs about mortality and the afterlife.